What is going on, guys? It is the Saucy Sock here with another video, and in this one we're going to be going over how to become a better user. Now, first things first, I like to start on the depth chart here, primarily because when you're usering someone, you want to user a safety for the most part. So for my sub linebackers, I typically throw in safeties here just because they're able to move around and zone coverage a lot better, and they're able to, they have better jumping, better catching, all that good stuff. So you're going to be able to make more plays on the football. And also you have like the abilities like ball hawk, robber. Those are all like good abilities in terms for like pass coverage. So it's really important to user a safety that's really quick or has some really good abilities on playing the football and pass coverage. So knowing that, how do we become a better user? Well, let's say for example, we need to understand really what defense we're in, and then we need to understand where the weaknesses of that defense is. So let's call this cover two here out of the 4-2-5 nickel over G. Let's say on offense, I don't know, they call trips tight end offset, and they call level sail. So typically, I like to set up my defense like so. There we go. Why is he in dude? I'm sorry. Sometimes like this game, the play art glitches out. All right. So typically I like to call my defense like so, where I run this Tampa 3 look here. So if you look at the spots of the field that are going to be weaknesses, it's going to be really this middle part right here. And maybe like any kind of like deep corner route right here could give me some problems as well. But for the most part with my user, I am just worried about taking away this middle of the field. Now notice how I have 3 deep blues and a couple of hard flats on each side. That means with my user, I don't need to worry about using that area of the field because I have help defenders over there. So let's say, for example, they call this level sail play. Keep in mind that like the weakness of the field is going to be this area. Like this is my user responsibility right here. Not the flats, not these deep blues back here. There's no reason for me to play up here. I need to stay within my assignment and play this part of the field. So let's call the play and let's try to see how good we can do. So you see right there how I'm not going anywhere outside of my assigned area. They call level sail here. I sit right here. This is my part of the field because I have help with the flats. I have a deep outside third that could take away this corner route. So there's no reason for my user to be over in this area right here. I got 2 defenders over here already. I need to stay in my area right here and play anything or any kind of route that's coming in my area. So obviously they're flooding my area pretty good. So for even a good user, this is pretty tough for me. I might try to take this receiver away and then bail back and play these 2 receivers like I did here. And look, if he does throw this guy, then, great. As a good read. So let's set this up again. Let's run this Tampa 3 look again. And you're going to see how I use her. Stay in the middle of the field. This is my area. Take away one route coming to my area. And notice how I don't stay exactly on one receiver too. This is also important to keep in mind. They have an in route coming in. Okay, well, I take it initially, but there's no reason for me to carry it all the way across because I have a flat defender right here ready to play it at any moment. So this is the point of your user. You are able to play multiple routes at once, and you play it to the point where you can send it off to help. You don't need to carry routes. Like, let's say, for example, let's do this the wrong way. Call this. Like, say, for example, he runs an in route here. Well, there's no point in me carrying it all the way over here because look how open those in routes come behind me. As compared to, let's say, I do it the right way. I play this guy, then, oh, I see more zones coming to my area, so maybe I can bait him into a throw there. The main point of your user is to try to bait the quarterback into making a bad read, or bait him into thinking something's open when it's really not because your user is able to play it. Your user is the most influential player on the defense. You're the only player that can move around freely and go elsewhere outside of your assigned area. So a lot of the times the AIs on defense, as y'all are well aware, are not very good. It is really up to you to make these plays. So let's say we don't want to call cover 2. Let's just call this cover 3 sky here. Let's call tight end in. Remember, when you're usering, you are only looking at using your part of the field right here. You don't need to play the sidelines. You have help over there. You don't need to play the middle third right here. You have a guy here already. This area right here that I'm running around in is your zone. This is where your user, and you're looking for routes coming into that area. That's your responsibility. The minute you see a route break into your little bubble is the route that you need to take away. Now, I will give a little tidbit too. When you got to understand your coverage that you're in too. Like I'm in cover 3 here. So where's the weakness in cover 3? Well, obviously it's going to be this little seam right here in between this outside third and this middle third. So if you're aware of an area of the field that can be attacked while you're in a certain defense, it's not a bad idea to carry it with a little bit with your user to at least take away the thought of making that throw, right? Even if they do come open, your user should be able to scare people out of making a lot of throws. And if they're able to, and if they still throw it at you, then it's an interception. So let's say, for example, they call what, tight end in. So obviously this wide receiver running this little seam right here is going to be a problem. He's going to attack a soft spot in the zone, as I'll show you right about now. Boom. Like right there's a little soft spot, right? So what if, knowing that, I'm in cover 3, knowing that that's a vulnerable spot on the field, well, there's nothing wrong with maybe moving this guy in, make him think that seam's going to be taken away, but he's really playing a curl flat. And I'm also not opposed to initially running up the field to take that away and then sitting right here, right? So let's run that again in instant replay once all this unfolds. Oh, that was crazy. So knowing that cover 3, the seams are a weakness, I know that with my user, so I might initially take off to go play it real quick just to bait the quarterback into thinking that like it's not going to be there, and then I peel down, right? There's really nothing open here. I'm taking away 2 routes with one of my user just for the simple fact that I'm just protecting a vulnerable spot on the field. Now, there's no reason for me to carry that guy all the way over. Obviously, I have a help defender here, so maybe I don't even need to do all this. Maybe I should probably be dropping back and playing my zone right here. But if there's no receivers working their way into your zone or assignment, that should give you free range to go and help elsewhere. But as you can see, everything's bagged up pretty well. Like maybe he could obviously hit this little quick in right here, but like I have help right here. So like worst case scenario, it's a 5-yard completion. I do see this guy breaking towards my zone too, so I'm going to sit right here and play that. All I'm doing is I'm looking for receivers coming into my zone. So let's say right here, let's run B on a streak, Y on a corner, run something like this, and maybe that tight end runs a slant here. So initially, knowing my weakness is going to be this seam right here, I'm going to carry anything vertical and then play this tight end out here. Now, another thing you can do too is you could always try to jam or at least get hands on the receiver right here. That's the most threat. And you do that by pressing down on the left stick and A. So I'll try to do it here, and zone coverage is kind of hard to do, so I might not do a very good job. But this is called a zone chuck. Yeah, I missed. But notice how like I try to at least get hands on him here. I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. Like you can jam this guy. Is what I'm trying to get at here. So let me just call this. See how I'm jamming the guy right there, and then I could peel away. If you really have a receiver that's really threatening you, like from the slot or from the inside slot, don't be scared to maybe man him up and try to jam him and throw him off his timing. Like do this right here. It just throws off timing, right? And then you can go back into usering. That's a little pro tip that you can use. I like to always jam one of these guys now. I'm really starting to learn how important that is. Now, I'm not going to be stay manned up on this guy. I'm putting him in a man coverage assignment just so I can at least get the jam animation, and then I could play my assigned area of the field. So let's do this again. Let's say he wants to run a streak. He's been trying to beat me on these seam streaks. Let's put him on a streak. Let's put Y on a corner. And like, look how like much this throws off the timing when I do this correctly. Jam, 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 boom. He's taken away. There's nothing open. There's nothing that really looks open right now, right? Except for like after a while. You can only guard for about 3 or 4 seconds before something's going to come open. And you can do this for any receiver too, by the way. Like if I want to jam this inside guy right here instead of the third receiver, I could jam this guy too. See how I got him jammed up a little bit? He can't get off. And now I can peel off and play elsewhere. So really learning how to jam the receivers, like I said, it's down on the left stick and holding down A. This could be enough to at least throw off timing of a certain route that your quarterback's trying to look for. So look, like I'm jamming, and then I peel off. And then I can play elsewhere. And like I literally can do this anywhere on the field. You can do this to a tight end. Let's say he wants to run a tight end streak right here. Let's do this. Let's put him on a streak. Let's move this guy out. I can actually man myself up on the tight end right here and get hands on the tight end. So that way, if he tries to run a streak, well, I tried to jam him there. Hold on, let me get more in front of him so I can show you a better example. So let's go here. I'm gonna move this guy out. I'm gonna try my best to. You want to be close to him. That's how you get a good jam. Let's see if I can jam him here. Yep. See how I'm kind of jamming him a little bit, even though I forgot to put him on a streak. Whoops. Do that. Let's try to get hands on him. Boom. See, I got hands on him. I'm pushing him away. Right? He's no longer a threat because I'm jamming him off his route, and he's getting sent to other help. So that's just a good little tidbit too, if you want to become a better user. But for the most part, like, you don't have to do all that. You could literally just sit here and just play your zone. I'm looking what's coming into my zone. This guy is, right? Or let's say like this tight end runs a slant. B runs a streak, Y runs a corner. I can do this. I'm just looking like I'm going to look to carry this guy vertical, and then I'm going to look to peel to who's ever coming in my zone. So let's go carry this guy vertical. Up, I got a slant coming in my zone. Let's take that away. I'm going to pass off the streak to my help. You can just do this, and you can just mix it up. You can jam this guy, and then peel off and help. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bunch of different stuff you can do. These are the things you can do to be a good user, other than the obvious, you know, run around in your zone and just press Y. You know, like, mix it up a little bit. Like, jam a guy. Jam him, and then peel off and play something else. Like, you see how much, like, timing is just thrown off and how, like, those routes are just bagged up? So take advantage of those jams, bro. Like, again, you want to be in a man coverage assignment on them, or else you're going to get a zone chuck animation that's just not very good. Like, here, I'll show you one more time the zone chuck. It's basically the same thing, left stick and A, except I'm in a zone assignment, so I'm not going to really, like, get hands on them. Like, I kind of tried to there, but it just doesn't work as well. So, the main points I can give from this video, I know I'm a little sporadic in this one. Just keep in mind, understand the weakness of your defense. Initially take away the weakness in your defense with your user and then peel off. And then take advantage of your press coverage to throw off timing of routes. And make sure you understand where your help is. Those are the best tips I can give you into becoming a better user. So just work on it, practice it, go to practice mode to practice this. You can't just run into a game and just initially throw it in there and expect to be great at it, right? You got to practice this stuff. Practice the movements, practice the individual adjustments, practice putting guys in man coverage and jamming them. You know, do all these things. That way, when you play a game, you know, it's natural. You don't have to think about this stuff. You can just do it off instinct. You can make your adjustments quick, and it just makes defense a lot easier. Even though it's not going to be easy because defense in this game is hard. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It would help me a lot. Hopefully, you guys got a little something out of this. I'll see y'all in my next video. Take care.